Name is Dennis Mertzanis. This is my 5th year in Formula D. I'm in the ARC Performance AR1, which is a LS7 powered V8 with a Vortex supercharger.
Hey guys, this is Mordaunt. I've been in Formula Drift for 7 years now, and I'm the driver of the ARC Performance AR7, which is the Hyundai Lambda V6 powered Genesis Coupe.
So Pat, tell us how you first got into cars.
Well, growing up, you know, I always was just kind of around different cars and hot rods that my dad had, and you know, we went outdoors a lot, so he would drive around in the mountains and all that type of thing. So I think that's sort of what got me into spirited driving and, you know, eventually into drifting. Well, we have 7 stops on the Formula Drift Tour, so what out of those do you think is your favorite and least favorite track?
Well, every track has great things about it that I like. Certain turns, like, you know, Seattle coming off the bank, I really love that turn. And there's other ones at each course, you know, minus Miami this year, that's new. But I'd have to say my favorite course overall is going to be Road Atlanta, because that's, you know, I have my hometown crowd there, everyone's yelling and screaming, and I love that entry. Just, you know, barreling down the hill, it's a lot of fun. So that's going to be my vote. So along the same lines, what's your favorite track on the circuit?
You know, I definitely have a blast at all of them. You know, they all have different technical, you know, things that they call for, and, you know, I really enjoy the high-speed stuff. Like, you know, obviously Texas was introduced this past year, and hopefully with the introduction of Miami this year as well, we'll have another very high-speed course. So right now, I really like the Texas track, just because, again, we're hitting triple digits.
Well, that happens to be where you did the best last year, right?
Yeah, that is true.
That's good, though.
Yeah, just, you know, I really think with drifting, we need to head into tracks with those types of speeds.
More speed.
I see that more as the progression of where the sport is. You know, I'm lucky enough to have been brought on board with Konig, who's been a long-time sponsor of yours. Is that correct?
Yeah, since the very beginning of Formula D. So now this is our 5th year working with him.
Wow.
You know, the Konig guys, you know, they've always asked me, you know, what other drivers do they recommend bringing onto the program, maybe in a parts shop, parts type basis. And the ARC Performance having 2 cars, it just made perfect sense to have both cars being supported in the same way. And of course, with, you know, your driving style and skill, it was a great fit. So they're really, really happy right now having both cars, both equipped with the Konig milligrams and running, you know, the program.
Most fans, when they watch drifting, you know, they see us on the grid doing donuts and burnouts and all these sorts of things. And I'm sure a lot of them think we're just wasting the tires or we're getting hyped up or something like that. But what is the real reason and importance behind that?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of people think that's the actual side of drifting, you know, doing glorified circle burners, right? But the reality of it is we want to get some heat in the tires, get them warmed up. I know what we do is we start with a slightly lower tire pressure, and then when you warm them up, the tire heats up, right? And the air inside heats up, pressure increases. It's pretty simple. But the most critical time we ever do a burnout is when we put brand new tires on the car. And I have not a personal story, but it was something I witnessed. There was a driver at a course, I'll keep it completely unnamed. He goes to line up to make a run, and I noticed he still had the stickers on his tires. And I thought, well, that's pretty odd. You know, he didn't even do a burnout or anything to, you know, to burn all the oils off. Because, you know, when you first mount new tires, they're pretty much coated in oil. So they're going to be very slick. And so, you know, doing that burnout, you know, burns everything off and makes them a whole lot stickier than they would be, right, if you just go make a run. Well, this guy takes off and makes a run and ends up crashing into the wall. And I still don't, maybe he just forgot, I'm not sure. But there's 2 major reasons why we do it, and that's it. Brand new tires and to get the tire pressure up, get them nice and sticky. Seeing as we have these great sponsors and a lot of good products, what do you think of this flow-formed, spun-forged wheel from Konig, the Konig Milligram?
Well, you know, design-wise, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. You know, it has a great gold shade to it, and you know, obviously the spokes give it a nice aggressive racing look. But at the same time, you know, there is another unseen advantage in running these wheels. It helps reduce the unsprung weight on the corners of the car, which helps our, you know, turn in, everything like that, because the less weight on the wheels and the less, you know, weight that's fully bolted down to the car, the better. So, you know, this is one of the most important pieces of the car, as this is what does put the rubber down to the road.